everyone, this is your Kalpana here. In this video, we are going to see what is raw data, primary data and secondary data from data handling. Okay, so to understand this concept well, we'll play a teacher game. Okay, consider a teacher and a principal. Okay, so teacher who will monitor the classroom and principal will monitor the teachers, right? So to play this game, we need a classroom with a set of teachers, right? So let's start. Okay. Consider a classroom. So this is a teacher game. This is your teacher. So here I will be the teacher. So teacher Kalpana. Okay. We'll be having four benches in our classroom. Each bench consists of 2 students. Okay, we allow only 2 students, right? Good. Rani, I will name them as Rani, Sita, Priya, Kirti, Mohan, Ramesh, Riya, Mintu. Okay, so we are having 8 number of students in our classroom. Okay, so let us consider maths subject. So we have completed a topic. So I'm going to conduct a test on that concerned topic and the list of marks. Okay, so after completion of examination, I'm distributing the papers and these are the scores you people got. Okay, so students scored set of marks. Marks list of maths examination out of 15 students. Sorry, 15 out of 15 by 8 students. Okay. List of marks scored by 8 students are Rani 10, Sita 14, Priya 8, Kirti 9, Mohan 12, Ramesh 5, Riya 10, Mintu 13. Okay. So here we'll notice that the marks obtained are numerical facts, right? These are numerical facts, is also known as observation. This is also known as observations or observation. Okay. So we find each entry in a list is a numerical fact is known as an observation. Okay. Such a collection of observations initially, that is at the beginning, is called raw data. Is called raw data. Okay. This is just a list of students' marks which they have scored in a maths examination. Okay. So we find each entry in the list is a numerical fact, numbers, known as observations. Such collection of observations gathered initially is called raw data. So this list of marks is our raw data. Okay, we are not going to process anything and we have not done anything on this marks. Just we had made a list. That's it. So this is called a raw data made by a teacher. Okay, maths teacher. Got it. Okay. So data are of two types, primary and secondary. So we are having raw data. Okay. Data are of two types. First one, primary data, and second one, secondary data. Okay. Primary data. When a teacher collects data herself by a definite plan is called primary data. Okay. When secondary data, coming to secondary data, when a principal collects data not directly with a definite plan. Let's see what is this. Well, coming to primary data, when teacher collects data herself by a definite plan. If you see this, the mark list, a teacher conducts an exam and she'll make a list of marks and she will keep it with herself, right? So that data is called raw data, but that is the first data which is collected by a teacher. So that collection is called primary data. Okay, primary data. She had directly collected the list of marks by conducting examination. So we will call it as primary data. And next, coming to secondary data, principal collects the data from the teacher. But here is the only condition we have, that the principal will not conduct the examination, or either he will correct the papers or he will make a list of marks, right? So he is using the second hand list. First hand is your maths teacher and second hand is your principal sir, right? Who is not going to directly involve in the examination. Got it? So this is your secondary data. Fine. So primary data. For primary data, remember, first hand maths teacher And for secondary data, second hand, principal. Okay. So now coming to the actual definition of primary data. When an investigator collects data herself with a definite plan or design in her mind is called primary data. Okay. For example, surveyor or a teacher, okay, who collects data directly by observation is called primary data. Secondary data. Data which are not originally collected by the investigator but they are obtained from published or unpublished sources are called secondary data. That is, they are not collecting the data directly by investigating, okay, or they are not involving in such matters to collect the data, okay, but they will use the help of others. They will take the sources, okay, so that is called secondary data. Fine. A very important note that secondary data are collected by an individual or an institution for some purpose and are used by someone else in another context, right? So teacher collected the actual data, primary data, and then she handed over it to principal, and the administration will collect the marks list from principal, okay, for some purpose, okay. So they will make a list of slow learners, list of slow learners and good students, say, okay. So they can make a plan to make them study well, okay, that will be the purpose, for example. And they will send the marks list to their parents, okay. So that will be considered as purpose and are used by someone else in another context and are used by someone else in the sense to compare with other school students, okay. So nowadays schools are competing with each other, okay. So secondary data are collected by an individual or an institution for some purpose and are used for someone else and are used by someone else, okay. So this is all about raw data, primary data and secondary data. So we have seen raw data, primary data and secondary data in this video. Hope you will understand. It's a bit confusing, but if you'll understand, if you'll read it again and again, you will get better. Hope you will understand. If you have any doubts, just leave your comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.